here are the solutions for the differential equations 2014 and 2013. All right, let's do this together. Hopefully you tried it first. So we have a DQ up here. You have a point. Step one is sketch the solution here of 0, 1. So 0, 1, if I look at the scale, that's 3, 2, 0, 1 starts here. And then what does the curve do? It curves up, flattens, and then it goes down. How about over here? It goes down, and then it kind of goes up. And you can totally see it looks like a sine or cosine, which makes sense because there's trigonometry in here. Next step, part B. Write an equation for a line tangent. I see this question a lot. So for an equation of a tangent line, I need 3 parts. So we have the point 0, 1. To find the slope, we use the differential equation for the slope. So I'm going to go 3 minus 1 cosine, and then x is 0, and then solve it. So that's 2. Cosine at 0 is positive 1, so that answer is 2. So the equation of the tangent line would be 2, x minus 0 plus 1. And then if I'm going to estimate 0.2, plug in 0.2 for x, and you have your answer. Man, I wish it was that simple this year as it was in 2014. Part C. Can you write a particular solution using that term? So I'm going to do that right now. So I'll do that on this page right here. So I have my differential equation. Let's write that down. And then can you solve it? So step 1 is to separate the variables. So I'm going to divide by 3 minus y and multiply by dx. Next, I'm going to integrate this. So the derivative of the bottom is negative, so I need a negative in front, and then it's a logarithm. There's no hook here for cosine, so when you integrate cosine, it's sine, not negative sine, plus c. And then I'm going to plug in. So I have a point to plug in, which is 0, 1. So I'm going to plug in 1 for y, and I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So the value of sine at 0 is 0, so it's just c. And then this is negative ln 2. The absolute value of 2 is 2, and that's it. So now I'm going to go back into the equation and solve for y. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 to begin with. To solve a logarithmic equation, I write it as an exponential. The base is e. Now, when I remove the bars, it's important to know that the y-coordinate is positive. And then I want to rearrange this. So for me to rearrange it, I'm going to add y, and I'm going to subtract e. So it'll end up being 3 subtract e to all of this, negative sine x plus ln 2. It could be written different just for fun, if it's fun or not. We could actually write this as times e to the ln 2. So when you're adding exponents, it's the same as multiplying with the same base. Those are exponent rules. E and ln cross out, and it would leave you just with 2. So you could actually have 2 in front. But this is the same as this, so you would get full credit for either one. All right, that was, look at that, not even, like barely 4 minutes. The second one, 2013. Again, we have a DQ. Our point is 1, 0, no slope field. In 2014 is when they introduced slope fields for calculus to do on the exam. So before 2014, there wasn't a slope field to draw on, which is sad. But here we are, a DQ with a point. So write an equation again of a line tangent. So I see that occurring. So that's x, y, and the slope. So the x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate 0. To find the slope, we use the differential equation. Plug in 0 for y and plug in 1 for x. Oops, this is also 1. And it's all e to the 0 is 1. 3 times 1 squared, that's 3. Take away 6. That's negative 3. So it starts with negative 3 and then x minus 1 plus 0. I don't need plus 0 at the end. And then to estimate 1.2, it would be using that tangent line would be just plug in 1.2 for x, and it's done. You would need to simplify it. For part B, I'm going to find the solution and plug in, separate, and do what I do. Solve the differential equation. All right, so I'm going to do that on this page here. Again, a much shorter question than they give now in 2025. All right, we're going to separate the variables. So I'm going to divide by e to the y. I'm going to multiply by dx. So now they're separated. Instead of e to the y, I'm going to write it as e to the negative y to get rid of the fraction. Then I'm going to integrate. The hook here is negative 1, so I need a negative in front. This goes away, so we start with the negative, and then I just copy for e. That's the rule for e. Here, you add 1 to the exponent and divide. When you simplify, that's x cubed. Add 1 to the exponent and divide. That gives you 3x squared and then plus c. Then I'm going to plug in the point. The point again is 1, 0. So y is 0. This is 1. And then solve it. Make sure I solve this one okay. I think if I did it right, after I add 2, and then I go back and write the equation and solve for y. So I found that c is 1. All right, so I'm going to divide by negative 1. To solve an exponential, write it as a logarithm. So the exponent is negative y, the logarithm's ln. I think we're going to put absolute value bars around this. And then divide by a negative. So it just makes the logarithm negative in front. And that's it. All right, Mr. G Math over and out. Till next time. Man, not even 8 minutes. You should try to do more questions on your own for sure.